Hey everyone, welcome back to Jar's Toy Emporium, and today we're doing a little bit of a different type of episode. Today we're actually going to be breaking down the two releases that were just announced for Star Wars Celebrations. Now, if you're new to Star Wars or you're new to Funko in general, the reason we all look forward to Star Wars Celebrations is because it is basically what it says in the name. Star Wars Celebrations is a celebration of Star Wars. Disney will usually take this time, or Star Wars in particular, will take this time to show off some upcoming projects they might be working on. They may release some trailers, and then for Funko collectors like us, they actually release some Funko convention exclusive pops. Now, this year Funko has a booth at the convention, which is taking place in Europe, and what they show at these conventions is they might release a couple of different pops that we don't have previously with a nice little celebration sticker on them. Now, this year they've already announced two of the Funko exclusives that will be at Star Wars Celebrations, but that's kind of the interesting part, is those are the only two that they have shown. Now, these two pops, I'm going to pop up on the screen right here, are interesting to say the least. We talk about the Jar Jar Binks right here. This pop is interesting because I don't remember anyone asking for a Jar Jar Binks pop. It's definitely been a while since we've asked for a Jar Jar Binks pop. We recently just got one about 2 years ago, maybe even less than 2 years ago, of a Clone Wars era Jar Jar Binks, which I thought was really cool that we're finally getting a new one, because that old one can be a little bit pricey. Now, this is the third Jar Jar Binks mold that we will be getting, and I have to admit it is a little funny looking, and I am on the fence about if I want to get it or not. Next, we're going to talk about the R2 and the R5 2-pack that you see right here on the screen. These pops are interesting because they're the exact same pops that we've gotten in the past. Now, the R5, we've only gotten one mold of R5 before. I actually had that pop, but it was buried deep in my bookshelf somewhere, and I couldn't seem to find it. So I'll throw it up on the screen right here as well so you guys can take a look at it. But if you look closely, it is very similar to the R5 that we're getting in this 2-pack. And then if you talk about R2-D2, we have gotten a lot of them. So I do like the idea with this being a 2-pack. I do think it's cool. Will I get it? Will I get the Jar Jar Binks? More than likely, if they don't announce anything else, I may go ahead and grab these just because there's nothing else being released. That's what I want to talk about right now. So usually whenever Funko starts releasing stuff for a convention like Star Wars Celebration, maybe New York City Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, they will take the day on their Instagram, their Twitter, and they will release the whole list of pops. Now, Star Wars Celebrations obviously isn't going to have Marvel pops. It isn't going to have Disney characters. It's going to be for Star Wars. And usually in the past, we've gotten quite a few. Last year, I know we got a lot of pops actually, and a couple of sodas, and everyone was really excited for the sodas. The pops were a little lackluster, so I will say at least this year they're a little different, but we got a whole lot more, and this year so far we've only seen two. Now, I would lead to believe, as you saw if you were interested in Funko Fun Fair this year, they took 3 weeks, Wednesdays every day of those 3 weeks, and they released certain pops that are going to be getting released later on throughout the year. Now, that was over 3 weeks, and they let us know beforehand that this was going to be a 3-week event. With the Star Wars Celebrations pops, they didn't say anything. They just kind of started releasing them. We kind of got excited because we saw 2 of them, and then that's where it stopped. So is that really the only 2 Star Wars Celebrations pops we're going to get? Now, if you're like me, then you have to believe that we're going to be getting a few more pops than just these 2. Today is March the 15th, and as of right now, we've only seen those 2 that were released on Monday yesterday. But maybe I'll be proven wrong at the time of this upload. Maybe Thursday morning they will announce some more, which I'm really hoping that they do, because these 2 are not really what we're hoping for. You know, conventions come around and it's really a time to get excited, because these are pops that, if you know anything about Funko recently, they've been having so much overproduction, and usually these pops are something that's going to be a little more limited to just that event. Now, when I say limited to just that event, sure, they do have the shared exclusives, which if you don't know what those are, if you can't make it to those conventions, they do partner with some retailers, and they will let some retailers sell certain pops that were released at the convention. However, they are still usually a lot less in number. Usually they're a lot more limited. You kind of have to be quicker to get them, because when they do sell out, they usually don't restock like we do see nowadays so much with Target exclusives, Funko Shop exclusives, and really just about any retailer exclusive that's not associated with a con. It restocks like crazy, which has been a big problem with Funko's overproduction. Now, I do have a theory on if this is the only 2 pops that we're going to get. This may be Funko trying to correct some of that overproduction. I talked about it in a few videos ago where Funko had to dump a whole bunch of product because they were just way overstocked. They were bleeding money that they noted in their statement because of all the shipping containers they were having to rent to store more of their products. Now this even comes after they moved to that big warehouse in Arizona that, if you guys have been fans of Funko for a while, you've noticed their shipping delays have been terrible. You know, you're getting a lot more stuff damaged, which used to not be a thing from Funko, but with this move to the warehouse, you know, things are a little scattered, and they still didn't have enough room in that big warehouse that they had built, and had to rent some of these shipping containers due to how much overproducing they were. Now, I really do hope that is the case. If these are the only 2 pops that they released at Star Wars Celebrations, that would be great, because maybe these would be a little less limited in number, they'd be a little more exclusive, which is what us collectors have been asking for quite a while now. Now, that's not us coming out and saying, oh, we want new people that are getting into the game to not be able to get what they want. I still would like to see a decent number of these. I mean, these aren't numbered pieces, so they could make as many of them as they want, but it would be nice to stop seeing so much restocks. It kind of takes the fun out of it. You know, you're waiting online patiently for this new pop to drop. You get it, you're so excited, and then you see it's sold out, and you're like, wow, I'm glad I got that pop. But then 5 minutes later, you say, oh, they restocked it. How in 5 minutes did they restock it from a sellout? That's because they have way more than they really should. So I do hope, if these are the only 2 pops that we're getting, that is what they're going for, is to fix that overproduction. Now, there is another side to that. I really hope this isn't the case, but it could be Funko getting a little bit lazy. I do know they're going through a hard time right now dealing with a lot of that overproduction, but these molds are really not great, and they're not stuff that we've been asking for. You know, the R5 and the R2, those molds are almost identical to ones we've previously gotten in the past. And then even if you look at the bodies of the droids, now I know this is being a little bit, you know, extra about looking at the designs, but their bodies are the exact same with some different paint on them, and the only difference in the 2 is their heads. Now, I understand those droids look exactly the same. I understand they're both astromechs, but still, we could like to see a little bit more variation between them. I hope that's not the case with Funko just getting lazy and just pushing something out, and I hope it's actually, you know, maybe them trying to fix some of that overproduction. Now, that leads me to this last topic that we're going to talk about, and it's really going to be a letdown of a Star Wars Celebration if these are the only 2 we've gotten. I'm going to throw some pictures up of some pops that we have gotten in the past from Star Wars Celebrations. One of my favorites that we've gotten things such as the Shock Trooper. We've gotten stuff like the 442nd Trooper. Grand Admiral Thrawn was a Celebrations release. So that just goes to show that they're really capable of putting out some really cool pieces at this Star Wars Celebration, but yet we're getting R2 and R5 in a 2-pack that we've basically already gotten before, and a Jar Jar Binks that I don't know where it came from. So tell me what you guys think. If you guys agree with me, let me know down in the comment section below. Tell me what you think of Funko moving forward. If you think it is maybe them cutting back on production, maybe it's something that they're doing, you know, the opposite of, and maybe they're going to show us some more pops in the coming weeks. I'm not really sure. Like I said, just wanted to get some insight to you guys out there and let you guys know what I'm seeing, which isn't really anything private. I mean, you guys can all find out the same stuff that I'm seeing. But if you guys have some thoughts on it, I'd love to hear them. Like I said, comment down below what you think. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit that like button. Also, if you really enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate you hitting that subscribe button as well. I've been having a great time with these videos, and I'm just excited for what's coming in the future. We got a lot of cool stuff coming with Funko, I think. I think if this is all we get with Star Wars Celebrations, I feel like we could have some pretty heavy stacked cons coming up. We got San Diego Comic-Con, which has historically been a great Star Wars convention. New York Comic-Con has released some of the best Star Wars exclusives in my opinion. I mean, that's where we got Captain Rex. Last year we got that Anakin Skywalker with the 2 lightsabers. So I think there is a lot coming. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. See ya.